All right, y'all gather around the fire. Now that the sun is down and the fire is up, it's story time. Let me tell you about a camping trip I had a few years ago, in some woods just like these. Darkness fell, a heavy, suffocating darkness like a thick blanket smothering the world around us. It pressed in on the small circle of light cast by the flickering flames of our campfire, making the shadows dance and twist in eerie patterns. We were deep in the woods, miles from anything familiar, surrounded by the unknown, miles from where we should be, and every step seemed to take us further into the heart of the forest. The air was thick with the smell of pine needles and damp earth, a scent that clung to our clothes and filled our lungs. Above us, the branches of ancient trees swayed like specters, their leaves rustling in a language we couldn't understand, whispering secrets of the forest. It was a symphony of the wild, beautiful, and unsettling all at once, a reminder of nature's untamed spirit. There were 4 of us: Mark, the self-proclaimed leader of our little expedition; Jenny, his ever-optimistic girlfriend; David, quiet and watchful; and me, the reluctant adventurer. We had come seeking adventure, craving a break from the mundane. We found it all right, but not in the way we had imagined. A log cracked in the fire, sending a shower of sparks spiraling into the darkness, momentarily lighting up the night. I felt a shiver crawl up my spine, and it wasn't just from the night air. We shouldn't be here. This place felt wrong, as if the forest itself was watching us, waiting. We had stumbled upon this place by chance, a hidden clearing deep within the woods. It felt like a secret world, untouched and forgotten by time. A weathered sign at the edge of the forest warned of private property. In red paint written over the sign was another message: "Leave now." In our youthful arrogance, we chose to ignore those lame warnings. The thrill of the unknown was too enticing to resist. Adventure, we told ourselves, waited for no man's law. We were invincible, or so we thought. The wind picked up, swirling around us and carrying with it a low, guttural chant. It was as if the forest itself was whispering secrets. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The shadows grew longer and the air felt thick with mystery. We all stopped talking, our laughter dying in our throats. The atmosphere had shifted, and we could all feel it. "Did you hear that?" Jenny whispered, her eyes wide with apprehension. Her voice trembled, betraying her fear. Mark, ever the skeptic, brushed it off. "Just the wind, Jen. Relax." But his voice lacked its usual confidence. But even he couldn't hide the flicker of unease that crossed his face. The forest seemed to be watching us. The chanting grew louder, weaving its way into our bones, chilling us to the core. We were no longer sure if we were alone. The forest seemed to hold its breath, the rustling leaves falling silent, the chirping of crickets abruptly ceasing. The air grew heavy, thick with an unseen menace. We were being watched. I could feel it. A glow of light, perhaps a flashlight, from the darkness beyond the reach of our firelight, cold and malevolent. It seemed to be pointed right into our camp, as if someone was watching our every move. Then, as quickly as it had appeared, it was gone. "There's someone out there," David said, his voice barely a whisper. It wasn't a question, but a statement of fact. Mark grabbed a burning log from the fire, holding it aloft like a torch. The flames danced in the wind, casting grotesque shadows that danced and writhed around us. We huddled closer, our bravado crumbling in the face of the unknown. We spent that night huddled around the dying embers of the fire, every snap and groan of the forest sending shivers down our spines. Sleep was impossible. The chanting was now back, along with occasional flashes of light into the camp. The mystery of who was out there and what they planned to do haunted our every thought. Dawn broke, painting the sky in hues of gray and purple. We were all exhausted, our nerves frayed. We packed up our gear, eager to put as much distance between us and this cursed place as possible. But as we made our way through the dense undergrowth, we stumbled upon a sight that chilled us to our very core. In the center of a clearing, a crude effigy of sticks and straw hung from a tree, a grotesque mockery of a human form. Hanging from the effigy's neck was a necklace. Jenny gasped and covered her mouth with her hand. It was hers. She had been wearing it the night before, a silver locket with her initials engraved on the front. At that moment, the chanting erupted again, this time from all around us. Making things worse is, it was now accompanied by hysterical laughing, maniacal screams, and guttural moans. It wasn't a something or a someone. This was several people, and they must have had us surrounded. Panic welled up inside me, threatening to consume me. They were toying with us, herding us like sheep to the slaughter. The forest seemed to press in around us, the trees closing ranks, trapping us in their midst. Every shadow seemed to hold a hidden threat, every rustle of leaves the sound of our pursuers drawing near. "We need to get out of here," Mark said, his voice tight with urgency. "Let's go, now." Believe me, we didn't need to be told twice. We ran, blindly, desperately, crashing through the undergrowth, our fear lending wings to our feet. The forest seemed to stretch on forever, the trees an endless maze designed to confuse and disorient us. The sound of our pursuers was never far behind, a chilling symphony of chanting, laughter, and the pounding of feet on the forest floor. They were relentless, their presence a suffocating weight on our chests. We finally burst out of the tree line, gasping for breath, our lungs burning. We had made it out of the woods. Or so we thought. The silence was deceptive, a mere prelude to the chaos that awaited us. As we stumbled into the harsh light of day, we realized with a sickening certainty that we were not where we were supposed to be. We didn't recognize anything in the landscape, the air thick with an unsettling stillness. The woods stretched out before us, unfamiliar and menacing. We were lost. Every tree seemed to whisper secrets, every shadow a potential threat. The pursuers were getting closer. We could now hear them whispering as shadows darted from within the forest vegetation. The laughter had now hit a fever pitch as the sounds once again encircled us. Suddenly, a loud splash came from the other side of the nearest tree line, like something heavy had been dropped into deep water. There was another loud scream, and then a single menacing voice screeched out, "Leave now and never return." As we checked the source of the splash, we recognized the pond that was near where we had initially parked and entered the woods. Outside of some remaining ripples from that splash, there was no other sign of the commotion. The pond was as peaceful as could be. Just past the pond was our car. We never spoke of that night again. The memories are seared into our minds, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks at the edges of our world. The woods hold their secrets close, and some secrets are best left undisturbed. The underbrush seemed to hide more than just wildlife. It concealed the very essence of the forest's mystery. We had escaped with our lives, but something tells me, whoever our pursuers were, they're still there, chanting and laughing while they wait patiently. At some point, another group of unsuspecting souls will be foolish enough to trespass on their land. I can only hope that next group heeds their warnings and stays away. The signs had been there from the start. They did not want outsiders in their land, but they were warnings we failed to understand. So now, who can tell me, "Shh, did you hear that? It sounded like chanting?" Ha ha! I'm just kidding. Y'all finish up those burgers so we can get to the s'mores.